when reporting point estimates, such as a mean, adding confidence intervals to your graph, either be it to your dots or your bars, can inform your viewers as to the amount of confidence or the amount of precision that is contained within that point estimate. So what I have here, again, fictional data, is, years, mean of something, test scores, calculated standard deviation, and the number of individuals within each of these groups. And so what I can do is, I can create a bar chart from this, just to kind of see what these data look like. I'm going to want to go to more column charts so I can get the one that I want. This one, please. Thank you. But since I'm reporting means, and we'll say mean, let's say fitness score, it would be useful to be able to have confidence intervals. And so there is let's get that over. There is a formula that you can use to create a confidence interval. And it would be CONFIDENCE.T. And so we do our open parentheses. Here it tells us, these are the things that we're going to need to provide it. So if we're doing a 95% confidence interval, which is probably most common, we would put an alpha of 0.05. If you're using a different confidence interval, say like a 99%, your alpha would be 0.01, or if you're using a 90%, it would be 0.1. Then we need the standard deviation. So we come over here and say, here is our standard deviation, and we need the sample size. So right there is our sample size. So we can hit enter, and this is telling us, this is the plus or minus to our point estimate is right here, the confidence interval width. And so the way that we would get that onto our bars over here is if we click back on our chart and we click this plus sign right here. So add some chart elements, and we can see that there is a section for error bars, and we're going to come over here to more options. And it pulls up this menu for us. Excuse me. We can see, vertical error bars, we do want them in both directions typically. Having this kind of cap on the end does aid in interpretation. But what Excel ever so helpfully does is it just kind of defaults to a fixed value. And that's not going to be accurate because when you're calculating a confidence interval, it's taking your point estimate, and then plus or minus a critical t-value times your standard error of measurement. So that's how it should be if it's being accurate. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a custom error bar. And so what we're going to do is click this bubble next to custom, and then that brings up the option to specify values. So our positive error value is just going to be right here, this range. And then same thing for our negative error value, because these particular confidence intervals are symmetric. And so your values are going to be the same there, both in the positive and the negative direction. And we click OK. And now we see, let's close out this menu, that our error bars are more accurate to what we would expect them to be.